we are part of nature. Yeah. Unfortunately, we were just given too much brains as compared to the other animals. And due to that, we as human beings have created a lot of havoc. There's a lot of disbalance that we've created. And the reason why conservation is very, very critical is because it's a selfish thing. And if you conserve them, if you save the nature and wildlife, you're going to be able to survive. Otherwise, if those systems are threatened or come to an end, eventually it's going to affect you also. And end of the day, they're innocent animals. They haven't done anything to you, and you still end up, creating so many problems for them.
Hello everyone, I am Jitendra Singh, banker turned entrepreneur and author of the book Perfect Mastering the Art of Selling. I welcome you to read my story where I interview authors, speakers, coaches, celebrities, entrepreneurs and more. Today I have with me Miss Shefali. She is a sports enthusiast who made her mark nationally and internationally. With an impressive 7 years run in a national level basketball, she also represented India in roller skating, debuting at the World Championship at the age of just 14 and 16. She even took part in first Asian Roller Skating Championship. Her love for nature, especially in dense jungles and towering mountains, is her escape. Photography is her passion, capturing the beauty of nature and wildlife. Beyond being a tourist, she has been an active part of the fight against tiger poaching, Ranthambhore, contributing to Mogya Education Program under the guidance of the Tiger Watch NGO in Sawai Madhopur, Rajasthan. She not only just a motorcycle enthusiast, she used to ride a custom painted 1000cc bike. Riding it's just for fun, it's a cause she deeply believes in. Her remarkable journey took her 8,000 kilometers across India in just 19 days, visiting 15 cities with a mission of Wheels of Change and GQ Ride. Professionally, her extensive experience spans over 2 decades in corporate HR. She specializes in delivering various leadership development programs, including managerial skills, organizational skills, and team building. As a certified NLP practitioner, she offers guidance and counseling to students and adults dealing with life challenges. Today, she will be discussing with us about her life journey. So let us hear from her. Welcome, Shefali. The platform is open, and now over to you.
Hi, thanks Jitendra. Thanks for the amazing introduction. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. You've covered everything as far as whatever there is to say about me. But motorcycle riding and wildlife are two big passions of mine. HR is just a profession. I was never actually very career oriented, to be very honest. Sports was where I was throughout my schooling, college. So never really paid too much attention to career and stuff like that. But yeah, once I got into the job market, I used to run my own recruitment consultancy for a while. And then certain circumstances forced me to get into a full-time job, and I picked HR. Thought my experiences of traveling through the entire country for sports events, meeting different people, managing things under different circumstances, etc. Those experiences would be helpful in building myself as an HR professional. I worked in Gurgaon and Mumbai for over 18 years, and just recently I moved back to my hometown, Ahmedabad. And I currently am working as a senior consultant, freelancing in HR projects, providing training, counseling, and I'm also a part-time faculty in HR subjects.
Amazing. So first thing now I would like to ask you is how did your past life has affected the person you actually wanted to be in your life and what you are?
My past life has given me a lot. Being in sports, one, the confidence factor is very high. So that was always there. Secondly, I was never afraid of challenges, and I would just go for whatever I wanted to go for. That's about it. And again, being in sports helped me take care of myself. So that entire experience of being in sports. So I started playing sports when I was 7 years old, and I played till I was about 18 or 19. So all those years, I have traveled individually as well as in a team to places people haven't even heard of in our country. So, going there, managing things, and as you mentioned in my introduction, if I went to a country called Argentina at the age of 14,
Amazing.
and that experience, I mean, it doesn't beat it. There's no other experience that beats that experience. So it just, my entire sports background has molded me to be what I am today.
Right. So you always wanted to be a sports person when you were a child.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and I was very good at it too.
Amazing. So very few girls I've met, females I would rather say, who always thought to be a sports person or an athlete. So very few.
Yeah, I wish I was born in this day and age. I mean, I would have had a fantastic career in sports. Unfortunately, the time and era that I was playing in, there was just really not much scope for a career in sports.
Right.
Just kind
That
of
point
play
in
till you
time,
could and move.
it was difficult that point in time, but these days
Oh
opportunity.
yeah, absolutely. And there's nothing, absolutely nothing in terms of a career.
Right.
A couple of my friends kind of got into coaching from the very beginning, which was not something that I was very keen on. But yeah, I mean, career options very, very less at that time.
True. Now, if I ask you, what are the things you are passionate about in your life now, and what is the role of motivation and inspiration onto it further?
As I said, my confidence factor has always been very high, and I believe that every person just has to find that in themselves. So today, when I counsel people, that's one of the things that I try to build into them, and I would like for everybody to have that level of confidence and know that you can overcome things. It's not that difficult to do if you put your mind to it. So I think I am a very self-motivated person, and I believe it's doable for everybody.
Amazing. And you are passionate for bike, you are passionate for.
Oh yeah, motorcycle riding. I love traveling basically because, like I said, ever since I was a kid, I've been traveling for sport. So travel bug is just there. And when I used to work in Gurgaon, Delhi is a fantastic place to be in if you want to travel, right? So there's 6 to 8 hours away, there's great hills, 6 to 8 hours away, forest, any kind of tourist palaces, old places. So it used to be fantastic. I mean, almost every weekend I used to travel, and that's one of the things that I still do. Any chance I get, I just go. In Gurgaon also, over a weekend I was just go, no plan, no nothing, and I'll just take off on my own. And that's one of the things that I'm very, very passionate about. And along with that came the passion for wildlife conservation. My maternal grandfather was an army doctor, and he used to be based at these really, really remote places which are full of wildlife stories. So my bedtime stories used to be that. I mean, I never had stories of Raja Rani and Prince and Princess and all that. It used to always be about, two travelers came across a tiger and how they managed to save themselves, elephant-human conflict. Those stories is what I grew up on. So wildlife is also a huge passion. Biking kind of happened, honestly, quite recently. I mean, I used to ride a bike when I was in college, but I restarted biking around 2016. So it's not that older passion, but yeah, that's also a passion. Anything on a bike, just give me a bike and I'm good to go.
Amazing. So now if I ask you about your work and experiences, your career part, so how you started your career, what all you did, and now what you are doing. So some of the things you have already highlighted about your current profile, what you are doing.
Yeah. So like I said, I worked in HR for over 18 years at a corporate level. And since 2016, I'm a freelance consultant. I take up projects with SMEs and MSMEs. and I also am a certified NLP practitioner. So I use those skills for counseling. Typically, I end up counseling students either related to their career or related to some personal issues that they are not able to deal with. So that's what I do professionally these days.
Amazing. So now about your vision, mission, and goal. So what is that for next 5 to 10 years?
Oh God, that's a tough one. I don't have one.
That is good.
I kind of, yeah, I kind of take it as it comes. I really don't have. Yeah, but one thing, if I could do, I would really like to contribute something back to the society. I don't know what, but if I could, yeah, that would be something I would aspire for. But I don't have a vision. I don't.
Right, right. So moving on to the next one in that case. So what are the most important life lessons you have from your personal or professional journey?
Okay, first life lesson is always believe in yourself. That is something that I've learned the hard way. Never lose confidence in yourself. Always keep your faith. And don't wait for others to do things to you. You want something, you go and get it yourself. Nobody else is going to give that a priority. It's only you who can give that whatever you want that priority, and you just have to go and get it. Waiting for people, putting expectations is a tough bridge to cross, and it just gives you more hassles if it doesn't work out for you. So avoid that entire thing. Just go and do it yourself.
Right, right. So since you have been a like nature lover, you have been a traveler, like biker, and you have been a wildlife enthusiast. So onto this, if I ask you, like your involvement in fighting tiger poaching in Ranthambhore is really impressive. So why do you think wildlife conservation is so crucial for preserving our natural landscape and their inhabitants?
See, we are part of nature. Yeah. Unfortunately, we were just given too much brains as compared to the other animals. And due to that, we as human beings have created a lot of havoc. There's a lot of disbalance that we've created. And the reason why conservation is very, very critical is because it's a selfish thing. And if you conserve them, if you save the nature and wildlife, you're going to be able to survive. Otherwise, if those systems are threatened or come to an end, eventually it's going to affect you also. And end of the day, they're innocent animals. They haven't done anything to you, and you still end up, creating so many problems for them that their basic survival becomes a problem, which should not be the case.
Correct. Actually, the thing is, we are going in their private place and we are destroying it. Actually, they are not harming us; we are harming them.
Absolutely. And, we simple stuff like this place that I live in, right behind my house, used to be this huge open ground, and it used to be covered with plants and all kinds of wild plants. And I used to see so many great stuff over there. I've seen jungle cats right in my backyard. I've seen rat snakes in my backyard. Mongoose. There was a point in 2016-17 where 4 mongoose babies used to come and play in my lawn. Now there is this massive construction that is going on in my backyard, and everything is gone. It's just so sad. So I feel that we are just hoarding, which we don't really need to. If somebody can think of a balance to keep those things around. I mean, today I see blue bulls, Nilgas, walking around on urban roads. The poor things have nowhere to go. There's nowhere left for them to go because all their habitat is now being converted into construction sites.
Right, their place is getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah, quite bad.
Yes.
And as far as tiger conservation is concerned, well, that's an animal that just mesmerizes you completely. That song, Eye of the Tiger. Oh God, you look into the eyes of a tiger once, the first time, and I guarantee you, you're hooked. I was fortunate to get an opportunity to work at a level where, the tiger was threatened in Ranthambhore. The advantage of Ranthambhore is the amount of tourists that go there. Almost every tiger is photographed. Almost every tiger is documented. Almost every movement or last sighting is documented. So in Ranthambhore, it was very easy to identify that few tigers were missing, and quite visible tigers. I mean, all the tigers of Ranthambhore are born and brought up around vehicles, so they're not shy. So when those tigers started disappearing, in the sense their sightings closed down, nobody could see them for months on end. And that is when Tiger Watch kind of started putting this documented evidence together as to where this particular tiger was seen last, so on and so forth. And they realized that about 20 tigers had gone missing, which was very sad. I mean, it just really, really hurt my heart to hear that. So there was a huge program that was undertaken, and Tiger Watch as an NGO came up with this idea that the poachers are hunters by skill, by tradition, by history. That's all they know. So if we had to break that cycle, the children of this the poachers belong to a tribe called Mogyas. That's why it's called the Mogya Education Program. And these Mogyas, I mean, dirt poor, nomadic people, dirt poor, about 10, 11 children, and the only skill they know is hunting. So, and again, it's a question of survival. So they went about doing what they know best. So can't really blame them. But they kind of forgot that this is not a sustainable product. But anyway, so Tiger Watch figured that if we change the mindset of the younger generation of this Mogya tribe, hopefully we will have lesser hunters. They will be more aware. We educate them. We create vocational backgrounds for them, which will give them gainful employment, and they would move away from this destructive lifestyle. So the first, I think, 20 children were identified, and these are all children of the biggest poachers. There were apparently 7 poaching rings in Ranthambhore, which is massive for a small park like that. So 20 kids were brought in, and I was fortunate enough to be able to contribute financially as well as with a little bit of effort to try and keep these kids in this program. And it was tough. These kids were wild. They were nomads, they're always scraping, fighting. We used to get footballs and cricket bats and things like that for them to play with. And they would end up hitting each other instead of playing. So taking them out from that kind of an environment, we used to support them with books. We would create small programs for them. But the main job was to kind of create a hostel for them and educate them within that hostel. Kids used to run away. We had to bring them back. So all of those efforts happened, and I consider myself extremely fortunate to have played a very, very, very small part in this, and I'm quite proud that I was able to contribute to something which is very close to my heart.
Amazing. And on a lighter note, if I say, like, I have been to Ranthambhore once. I have been to wildlife in Jim Corbett like multiple times, and unfortunately, I could not see even once. So like numbers are really so less. It's really kind of distinctive. You hardly find like a view to these tigers these days. So difficult to find. True. Right. So now
again, they are wild animals. Just because you're on a particular route doesn't mean they have to be. You've got to be very, very lucky to be able to sight a tiger.
Yeah, that is one thing, and also second thing is numbers are also getting lower.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's quite bad. I believe just recently there was this a news report which said some 36 tigers had died in the last 2-3 years or something. It's kind of crazy, quite crazy.
Correct. So now moving on to the another one, like since you've been a photographer, not only photographer but passion for photography you have. So how did you believe like visual storytelling can raise awareness about wildlife conservation and inspire action?
That's a very, very, very good question. So I sincerely believe that if you are able to capture the natural beauty of any animal or a place, I hope people get the feel that you don't really want to harm this thing. If that visual capture is good enough, it'll probably make people a little curious. So I used to post a lot of bird pictures, and a lot of people would identify it very badly and things like that. So it was helpful for me to help them understand what kind of a bird it is, what does it do. So a little bit of education here and there, a little bit of more information than what we have, I believe would go a long way in kind of making things better for ourselves. And pictures speak 1,000 words, right?
Correct.
So I hope that language carries through. And as far as I know, I have been fortunate enough to be able to influence a few people in my friend circle where they've gotten interested in wildlife because of me going on and on and on about my Ranthambhore trips and stuff like that. I've dragged a few people to these wildlife places to say, "How have a look at the natural beauty of these places, and whatever you can do to stop these places getting wasted." I think that's what a visual image can do if people invest enough time in it.
Right. And due to hunting, like the migratory bird, which used to come earlier in good numbers, have also like lowered down to a
Yeah.
significant,
So
very,
okay. So you talked about birds and hunting. Have you been to Bharatpur?
yeah.
Have you read? There are these notices or information put up on walls. They're small milestones kind of thing
I've
that I
been
put
there
up in
off
Bharatpur.
season, so I did not notice much.
No, so next time you go, please ask your guide to show you that those stones. Okay, there is history of Bharatpur written there, and do call me and tell me what it made you feel. It is, oh God. So there are recorded instances of 2 lakh birds in a day being shot down by Britishers, 3 lakh geese, and it's written as if it's an achievement. That is the level of deprivation that we humans can go to. And why do you need 1 lakh birds? You got to eat only one. It can't be more than that, or two at most.
That
1
is
lakh in a day for the sport of it. That's it. And that's the sad part of it for me, is that it's just unnecessary. There is no purpose behind it. People just do it for the heck of doing it. Sorry, I kind of digressed a little bit. Sorry.
right. So, like now, next one, like tell us about your experience in Mogya Education Program under the Tiger Watch NGO. So, how has this impacted like your view wildlife conservation, and what did you learn from it, or like learning for others from this program, like how this can be more meaningful?
So, we have a phenomenal tourist industry. Yeah.
True.
This Mogya Education Program just taught me that there are just so many opportunities for people to make on a livelihood. I won't even say make money, on a livelihood without hurting the wildlife, without the forest getting destroyed. And being part of the Mogya Education Program, you look at the kids and you just know that, if they are given a choice, a better choice, they'll take that choice. So I think it is incumbent upon all of us to kind of keep that in mind as well. And I think the inspiration for me was seeing these kids transform. All of them, the ones that I was part of, they kind of all finished their schooling. A few of them are working with the local resorts there as resident guides or resident drivers. So they are all gainfully occupied, and that just gives me a lot of sense of achievement. And I think people just need to be shown a different way of doing things.
Right. That's really important. Like people are aware of their surrounding, and also they can get another source of livelihood which can help them sustain their life as well.
And these kids, absolutely uneducated, but if you show them a footprint in the sand, they would tell you which animal it is. So that knowledge is just phenomenal, and that can't be taught. You got to learn that. You have to be there, experience it, and they were brilliant at it.
Correct.
And as I said, extremely curious kids. So I still remember one particular time I'd taken some books for them. And as soon as I sat down and I opened my bag, and there is a photograph, I don't know if I'll be able to find it. If I do, I'll share it with you sometime. They just completely surrounded me. I was invisible under them. They were so curious and they were so looking forward to getting these new books, which they were just learning to read. And that those kind of experiences can't be explained in words.
Right, amazing. So, like, as in people, we are traveling to these places. So, what is the role of us, and how we can like contribute towards like wildlife conservation, and what things we should consider and we should take care of while we are in these places.
Firstly, be aware of the place that you are in. Whether it's a forest, it's a beach, it's a hill station, whatever, desert, whatever it is, be aware. Understand the environment that you are in. Most of us, we just go to the place, एक sunset point होता है, एक sunrise point होता है. It's very easy to do that touristic stuff, but I would really wish that people would know the place really, wherever they are going. I mean, for example, Goa, right? And who doesn't know Goa? Who hasn't been to Goa? But Goa has such a history. वो एक चर्च है, वहाँ पे जाते हैं सारे लोग and they think they understood Goa. So I think, as we are educated human beings, look at the place, understand the place. And if you do, I think you will not want to do any harm to it by yourself, and nobody has to tell you. And yes, I think our civic senses need to be so much better, and we just forget our civic responsibilities. सब जगह लिखा होता है कचरा मत फेंको, तो फिर भी फेंक देते हैं. प्लास्टिक को ढंग से डालो, सबको मालूम है, करता कोई नहीं है. The locals, I've actually heard people say, "Oh, don't come here. We don't want you."
Correct.
Don't. People should not put themselves in a situation where people don't want to see you. And to me, that's like the worst thing that anybody can say about you. Please, मत आओ इधर, चले जाओ यहाँ से.
Definitely, if you
And
not support the environment where you are moving,
yeah.
but
Like Corbett, I don't know if you've noticed it. The last time I went was a very very long time ago. But उस टाइम पे रात को 2 बजे तक डीजे पार्टियां चलती थी कॉर्बेट में. So any place that you're staying in, you can hear the music all around. Yeah, that's not an environment to have a DJ party in. It's a forest. It's a wildlife area. It has its natural balances. Unfortunately, resorts, can't afford to say no to that kind of business either, because at end of the day, they have to run the business as well. But I also know of resorts who just refuse to do all this. They just refuse. डीजे कर चाहिए, नहीं मिलेगा. रात को देर तक पार्टी करनी है, 10 बजे तक टाइम है, उतना जितना पार्टी करना है करो, 10 बजे सब बंद हो जाएगा. So those are the rules that should apply in a place like Corbett. Yeah, as it is living in the buffer zone. All the resorts are in the buffer zone. So wildlife is right next door to you. Yeah, they don't. It's
really, I believe that 10 is also very like long for these places.
हाँ, पर वो फिर पार्टी का मूड बने रहने के लिए 10 बजे तक फिर भी अलाउ कर देते हैं.
राइट, बट स्टिल आई फील कि अगर आप इस तरह के एनवायरनमेंट है तो 8-9 बजे तक इज सफिशिएंट.
और मैं तो कहती हूँ कि अगर डीजे पार्टी करनी है तो भाई दिल्ली में रह के करो ना. कॉर्बेट तक जाने की क्या जरूरत है, यहीं रहो. फालतू में पेट्रोल भी खर्च रहे हो, वहां जाके भी डिस्टर्बेंस क्रिएट कर रहे हो.
When you are going towards nature, like enjoy the nature, the calmness of nature.
Exactly my point. Go on a safari, see the forest, just enjoy that vibe of a forest. So and I remember I had taken my parents for a safari once, and we had this really novice guide who was with us. And the guide was telling the entire group that, tiger's smelling sense is very bad. Tiger's eyesight is very bad. And my dad is looking at me and I'm looking at him. I didn't say anything. So my dad scolded me. He's like, "Why did you not stop this guy? He was telling such lies." So I said, "Look, Dad, this is his bread and butter, right? I mean, I don't want to negate him in front of his tourists. So जो 200 का टिप मिलेगा वो भी नहीं मिलेगा उसको." I didn't want to do that. So he's like, "That may be your reason is fine, but the fact that you let these people go away with wrong information in their mind is something which is not worth that 100 200 rupees tip.
Correct.
And that was a lesson for me as well. And from that day onwards, I started picking fights with people when they would give wrong information.
Right.
So these
Amazing.
are a couple of experiences I wanted to share.
Right. So now moving on to the next one, like back to you. So if I ask you like your take on success, what do you feel and what do you believe about it?
I don't know. I don't think success is very important. Success तो वो है ना जब दूसरे लोग recognize करते हैं तब successful माने जाते हो आप. But if you have certain things that you want to do in life, you enjoy whatever you do, I think that's successful. Everybody's definition of success is very different.
Correct.
Should not be a standard yardstick for anybody's
Yeah,
success to be compared with somebody else.
that's true. So last one, any message or advice you would like to share with our viewers and listeners?
I hope I have been able to say the right things. I hope you will edit some of the things if they are not right, because and I hope that I was able to at least impress one person who might look at nature a little differently. I hope that I have been able to inspire at least one person to contribute positively to nature and wildlife. I think I would consider myself quite successful.
Right. Now, any advice or suggestion?
I don't know if I am in a position to advise anyone. But yeah, I would suggest people to travel, especially kids. And they should do it without their parents. And they should do it on a budget. That kind of experience teaches you a lot. And those experiences will stay with you for your lifetime.
Correct, correct.
So, travel, see the world. वर्ल्ड क्या छोड़ो, वर्ल्ड छोड़ो, अपने इंडिया में ही बहुत सारी चीजें
बहुत
जो
कुछ
अभी
है.
देख.
And overseas, like a student, have these type of like culture that they take a break from their studies and they go and travel.
I don't think that kind of culture applies to us. We as Indians travel anyway. Yeah, if either it is for social purposes, शादी है, engagement है, birthday है, whatever, we travel. Holidays, छुट्टियों में तो बाहर जाना ही जाना है, so we travel. But that traveling versus traveling on your own, I think it would be a very different experience. Like my niece, poor thing, she's been planning to travel to Ranthambhore for a while now. Just somehow has not been able to do it yet, but she's like, now I'm going to start traveling on my own like you used to, and I want to understand why you used to go alone.
Right. And that is amazing thing because there are two aspects of it, parents and the kids one, like children. So there is always a disbalance between both the thoughts.
At the risk of sounding very cynical, I think today's kids can't manage things on their own. Everything is given to them on a platter. So I would encourage kids to kind of start standing on their own 2 feet, doing their own thing instead of waiting for the parents to do it for you. So I used to teach kids basketball long time back. And in that also, I used to pull up the kids who would not behave properly. And I used to get a lot of complaints from parents, why are you scolding my child? I said, this is my arena right now. I said, your kid can do whatever they want at their place, not in my arena. This is an arena where you learn confidence, you learn skills, you learn to play with others, enjoy yourself, not create conflict, not create risk. And kids today, unfortunately, there's another thing which I feel, single child, I think that's a big issue. Kids don't know how to share anymore. And basketball, to वैसे भी, I used to tell everybody to bring their own basketball. A lot of kids would not bring. So the kids who would have their own basketball would not share. They would not allow those other kids to touch their basketball, which I found very, very weird. And I have to pull up my kids a lot for that. It's team sport, you can't do this thing.
Right. So I just remember, like, first time I traveled alone, I was in 11th standard. And if I talk about traveling these days, like I've spoken to like few of the kids around. So I asked them their views, like moving to other city, other college, like taking admission to a college in other city. So they are not ready to go actually.
Yeah, and I know my own friends, their kids are working in other cities and the parents are taking care of their rent, their food. And I'm like, what is your kid earning for? They get a salary, right? Let them manage their own salary.
Right.
If you keep giving everything to them, when are they ever going to learn the value of their own hard-earned money?
Correct. So until they are studying, not earning, till then it is fine. But once
Yeah,
they
that's
start
fine.
earning, then you should
So,
leave them on their own.
yeah, and I think that is something that parents today need to change. The
Right,
kids are just too used to getting everything on a platter.
right.
Makes me
So
sound very old, but I don't care.
right, that is really important. And I must say, the discussion we had today was really amazing. We spoke about so many things, and that too really important for our environment, really important for our wildlife. And we have culture of always being with wildlife, staying together, not harming. But for
Yeah,
a few decades or few centuries, we can say that we ourselves have destroyed our surroundings so badly that this is impacting wildlife in real sense. So
impacting us as well. Look at our weather patterns. Look at our climate today.
that is affecting everything.
That's
So it is
yeah,
really
and we
important.
still don't seem to.
Yes, it is
We
really
still don't
important.
seem to understand.
So we should start working towards environment conservation, wildlife conservation, and also create healthy environment around us. Plant more trees and do not throw garbage here and there.
Right.
Keeps air safe,
Absolutely.
keep water
So
safe.
let me put it another way, Jitendra. Maybe okay, if you can't conserve or you can't contribute positively, at least don't contribute negative.
Correct.
मतलब कुछ नहीं करना चाहते हो तो एटलीस्ट नेगेटिव कंट्रीब्यूशन मत करो, डिस्ट्रक्टिव मत बनो,
Correct.
न्यूट्रल रहोगे तो भी चलेगा,
Right.
लेकिन कंट्रीब्यूशन अगर करना है तो पॉजिटिव करो, नेगेटिव मत.
That's really important. So, on this note, I'd like to thank you so very much for your time, energy, and sharing so many wonderful things. And I really enjoyed the conversation. And also, since both the thing, like photography, wildlife, I also like deep-heartedly. I also like to do traveling and photography very much. So I, on this note, can say that I also have this passion. And thank you so very much once more. And I will also share your social media link along with the interview so that people can be in touch with you, take your help and guidance also. So thank you once
Thank you so
again.
much, Jitendra. It was a pleasure. I really appreciate you giving me this platform to voice some of my thoughts. And as I said, if I'm able to inspire even one person, I think I would have achieved a lot in life. So thank you so much for the opportunity. It was a complete pleasure talking to
Thank
you.
you. And guys, for you, please don't miss out the information and be in touch with ma'am. And wherever you feel like, take her guidance and help. And thank you so very much, everyone, for watching and listening. I hope you all must have gathered a lot of information and enjoyed watching it. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Have a good time. Thank you, and bye bye.